Let's talk about something that gets thrown around a lot. Financial freedom. If you spend any time on social media or personal finance YouTube, you've probably seen it. People retiring in their 30s, living off investment income, traveling the world, never working again. And if you're like most people, you look at that and think, that's amazing. But also, that's never going to be me. Here's the thing. The way financial freedom is often presented makes it feel like an all or nothing game. Either you achieve it, usually by making extreme sacrifices for a decade, or you don't. And if you don't, you're somehow failing. That framing is not helpful. It's actually kind of harmful. Today, I want to redefine what financial freedom actually means. Not the Instagram version, not the extreme early retirement version, but the real version, the version that's actually achievable for regular people who just want to live a good life without constant money stress. Let's start with what financial freedom is not. It's not never working again. Some people want that. And if you do, great. But for most people, work isn't the enemy. Bad work is. Work that doesn't pay enough. Work that drains you. Work that traps you because you can't afford to leave. Financial freedom isn't about escaping work. It's about escaping work that doesn't serve you. It's not about having so much money that you never think about it again. That's a fantasy. Even wealthy people think about money. They just think about it differently. It's not about reaching a specific number in your bank account. That number changes. Life changes. Markets change. Chasing a fixed number often leads to moving goalposts and never feeling like you've arrived. So what is financial freedom actually? Here's my definition. Financial freedom is having enough money that you don't have to say yes to things you don't want to do. That's it. It's the ability to leave a job that's making you miserable, not because you have another job lined up, but because you have savings to cover you while you look. It's the ability to take a lower paying job that aligns with your values, because your expenses are low enough to make it work. It's the ability to say no to a project, a client, or an opportunity that doesn't fit your life because you're not desperate for the money. It's the ability to take a risk, start a business, move to a new city, go back to school, without the fear that one wrong move will ruin you financially. Financial freedom is options, not luxury, not retirement. Options. Let me give you an example. Imagine two people. Both make the same salary. Both have the same expenses. One person has $500 in savings. The other has $10,000 in savings. Who is more free? The person with $10,000, because if their car breaks down, they're fine. If they lose their job, they have months to figure it out. If they want to quit a toxic workplace, they can. That $10,000 doesn't make them rich. It doesn't mean they never have to work again, but it gives them options. It gives them breathing room. And that breathing room is freedom. Now let's look at how this actually plays out in real life. Financial freedom usually comes in stages. You don't go from zero to completely independent overnight. You move through levels. Level 1, stability. This is the emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of expenses, you're not rich. But you're not one flat tire away from disaster either. If life throws a curveball, you can handle it. This is the foundation. Without it, nothing else matters. Level 2, flexibility. This is when you have enough savings and low enough expenses that you can make choices without being desperate. You can take a career risk. You can move to a new city. You can say no to work that doesn't serve you. You're not wealthy, but you're not trapped either. Level 3, security. This is when you have investments generating enough income to cover your basic expenses. You could theoretically stop working if you wanted to, but for most people, this level takes decades to reach. And that's okay, because level 2 is already a kind of freedom, and level 1 is already a huge relief. Here's what I want you to take away from this. You don't need to reach level 3 to experience financial freedom. You can experience freedom at level 1. You can experience it at level 2. The freedom to handle an unexpected expense is real freedom. The freedom to quit a job you hate is real freedom. The freedom to take a risk on something you care about is real freedom. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Now let's talk about the trap of chasing early retirement. There's a movement called FIRE, Financial Independence and Retire Early. The goal is to save a large percentage of your income, invest it, and retire decades earlier than traditional retirement age. For some people, This is a great goal. If you have a high income and the discipline to save aggressively, you can achieve it. But here's what doesn't get talked about enough. The extreme version of FIRE, the one that gets all the attention, requires sacrifice that most people aren't willing to make. Saving 50, 60, 70% of your income means saying no to a lot of things. Travel, hobbies, time with friends, living in a city you love, pursuing work that actually interests you. And sometimes the people who reach early retirement realize that they've spent their best years delaying life. They retire, and then they don't know what to do with themselves because they never built a life they wanted to live. They just built a portfolio. I'm not saying early retirement is bad. If it's your goal, go for it. But it's not the only definition of financial freedom, and it's not the right path for everyone. Here's what I think is a healthier way to think about it. Instead of asking, how do I stop working as soon as possible? Ask yourself, what do I want my life to look like? Do you want to work fewer hours? Do you want to work in a field you care about, even if it pays less? Do you want the freedom to travel for a few months without worrying about your job? Do you just want to not stress about money? These are all valid goals. And they don't require retiring at 35. They require something simpler. They require building a life where your expenses are lower than your income, where you have savings to fall back on, where you have skills and options that aren't tied to a single employer. That's the real path to financial freedom. Not a number, not an age, a life designed around what actually matters to you. So how do you start? First, get clear on what freedom means to you. Not what social media tells you it should mean. What actually matters to you. Do you want the freedom to travel, to change careers, to work part-time, to live in a different city, to simply not worry about unexpected expenses? Write it down. Your definition might be different from someone else's. That's okay. Second, figure out what that freedom costs. If you want to be able to leave a job and take 3 months to find the right one, what does that cost? 3 months of expenses. That's your target. If you want to work part-time, what does your income need to be? What do your expenses need to be? That's your target. If you want to move to a new city, what does the move cost? What savings do you need to make it happen? That's your target. When you define freedom in concrete terms, it becomes achievable. It's not a vague fantasy anymore. It's a goal with a number attached. Third, build toward that freedom. Start with level 1. Get your emergency fund in place. That's your first freedom milestone. Then start building toward level 2. Lower your expenses. Increase your savings. Build skills that give you options. You don't need to sacrifice everything. You just need to be intentional. Every dollar you save is a little more freedom. Every skill you build is a little more freedom. Every debt you pay off is a little more freedom. And here's the thing. You don't have to wait until you reach some distant finish line to feel free. You can feel freedom along the way. When you pay off a credit card, that's freedom. When you build a $1,000 emergency fund, that's freedom. When you learn a skill that makes you more employable, that's freedom. Freedom isn't a destination. It's a series of small victories that add up over time. So here's what I want you to take away from this. Financial freedom isn't about never working again. It's about having options. It's about building a life where you're not trapped by a paycheck you can't afford to lose. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to retire at 30. You just need to build enough margin in your life that you can make choices based on what you want, not what you have to do. Start where you are. Build your emergency fund. Lower your expenses. Increase your skills. Give yourself options, because freedom isn't a number. It's a feeling, and you can start building it today. If this video shifted how you think about financial freedom, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I'll be covering how to start investing even when you feel like you don't have enough money. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.